What's going on, everybody? I'm almost late. Right on time. I don't have a hat on either. You guys are not used to not seeing me with a hat on. I don't wear a hat all the time. But on stream, I'm pretty consistent. A lot of hair. So, it's Friday. Tomorrow, I've got. There's that freaking piece I was looking for. I looked everywhere for this yesterday. I thought I left it at work. It's not an RC piece, but okay. Figured you were hiding a bald spot. The furthest thing from it, I've got my hair is so ridiculous. It's just, but I've been wearing a hat the last few days. Tack it to the wall. That's a great idea. I'm going to put it right there, the same spot it was where I couldn't find it before, because that's where I'll know it's at now. So, tomorrow I've got a comp, and I spent all day at work today working on my comp rig because, literally all day. That is what I did all day. Not often am I doing a lot of work on RCs at work. Today was one of those days. It was a good day. But now I need to get my list of. So tomorrow there's a comp in the Sacramento area. If you happen to be in this area, at what's called the Confluence, which is in the Auburn area. The thing is that it's in a inaccessible or a fairly difficult to access area. So I need to condense all of the things that I normally take into just my carry-all backpack. So I've got to do some prioritizing and make sure that I get all the things because I want to be ready for that comp. I'm going to go to bed early. That's the plan. Go to bed early. Are you building the tube buggy tonight? What tube buggy? I thought you said to avoid Sacramento. It's a good idea, but if you happen to be here already, going to an RC comp is one of the best things that you could think to do. I just got home. I was waiting to pick up food on my way, and I was watching Matt's live stream, and I was working on an RC car all day, so I didn't really, do you live in KC-Mo or KC, Kansas? I used to live in Kansas City, Missouri, but that was like 7 years ago. Now I live in California. But I didn't see that RC4 Drive had released that new FJ55. If you have, did you see the new release from RC4 Drive today? Did you watch Matt's live stream show? They probably did a good job replicating the real one, but man, why don't you do some builds of like the smaller brands like WPL and do a challenge with SVG? Yeah, I've got WPLs. I've got a lot of the D12s. I think I have 3 or 4 of them. And they're fun. I like them. Matt doesn't like them as much. But I don't know at the same time if I'd want to spend, if I would want to dedicate that type of time to it. I don't know. I like the bigger brands usually because they're better RCs. So, I'm sorry, how many? I think I have 4. I think. But I don't 100% know. I think I had more. I think I gave one to somebody. But it's just, I don't know what happens. Next challenge with Matt is a 1-hour build. Yeah, and we just sit on a live stream. We do that every weekend or every week. Like, did you get anything done? Like, no, cool, me either. It's a tie. So, like I said, tomorrow I have to try and condense all the things down. This is like my tool bag that I usually take with me. I take this like to work in and out a lot. For those of you, I use the little ISDT Q8 charger for events, like out on the go. This thing is the best because if you're competing or anything like that, you just bring this thing and you have your, oh, I gotta find all my batteries. That's something. That's on the list. Well, here's one, for example. So you have a battery like this. I'm sorry if you guys hear the cat. Nicole is still out of town, so I am the second choice of them all the time, but now they're needy. So with the Q8, you take and you just plug in a battery like this. This is one that I'll take with me commonly, 5,000 milliamp. And then I plug in my little 850 like that. And you plug in the balance board and you just charge it right off of that. So I can take one 5,000 and charge my little 850s, 12 times. Works out pretty well. Granted, if you only do 5 courses, I'll have a couple of batteries with me and I'll just charge those rather than taking multiple. It's easy enough. So yeah, this is a must-have for little events like that, I feel. It's the highest on my priority list for a comp. Brian Sherwood, thank you, sir. Will there be milled F10 knuckles? There will definitely be milled F10 knuckles. Yes, there's always going to be option parts. Only if you charge that 5,000 milliamp battery, though. I'd only have to charge it a little tiny bit even to take care of all the batteries I really need for the event. Double blind build challenge. A kit that neither of you have built before. 2 hours. Who gets the farthest through the build correctly? Correctly is it's a very... what is the voltage of the 5,000? This is just I think this is a 3S. But you can plug up to a 6S in, if you want to charge off of that. It doesn't have to be the same voltage as what you're charging. So, always assume Nicole is watching in here. That I never do, and then I was wrong. But, so let me make sure I have my charger. And my 5,000 mAh pack charged. Make sure that my, thanks for the help on the E-clip. I need no problem, blind guy. Hopefully, those, there's always, I think there's 1 or 2 spares in the kit, but if you lose those, then yep, you gotta replace them. So I should also check what I left in. Nicole had carried this on the airplane. I was like, what are these? She must have bought the Delta, whatever. The Delta pods. Ooh. American flag patch. That should go on there. Will it charge at 15 amps? You know what? I don't think that this one will. So, actually, I'm a liar. This will charge up to 20 amps. So, 20 amp 8S capable. There you go. Yeah, sorry about Sookie. She's being an absolute pain in the ass. Okay. We're good and empty in there. And okay. It has been empty. So we're good to add from there. Brian Sherwood, thank you, Sarah, as well. If Sue comes on, I'm sorry. It was you or me. You lost. Who makes that charger? ISDT is who makes it. And it's pretty cheap. Now, it is DC only, so you can't plug it into a wall and use it. But for events, or, if you have a power supply, like you're a racer of some sort, then great. But that's, I can't recommend it enough. Put it on 20 and see if the fire department gets there before the roof goes up. God. Oh my God. Hello from Sacramento. Hello, Robbie. We're getting ready for the comp. It can't plug into a wall. Yeah, no, I know my AC DC. Just because it's 20 amp capable doesn't mean you should. You know what? I feel like I am the one that was aware of this, and I didn't know that other people weren't. So, if you still use your Ridge wallet, how do you like it? Yeah, I do. That's what I carry every day. This is my forged ember version. So it's the forged carbon with the sparkly ember stuff. But I've got a couple of others. I'll switch out to my burnt titanium one or just the regular forged carbon. But I've been carrying a Ridge wallet for a long time. Like, I don't remember what it was, 2017 or 2018. And then I also picked up the key bar thing. So, holds my keys in it. So, I can, yeah, kind of nice. I like it. So, the Ridge wallets I just find, they're super compact. A lot of the other like front pocket style ones are just still too bulky. Just, yeah. Which comp are you going to? It's at the Confluence. I don't know what, doesn't really have a name. It's just a local comp. So, yeah. That's all I know. I lost my wallet at a friend's. His wife found it with her lawnmower. Oh, no link to the Ridge. Ridge is back on as a sponsor this coming month. So, you know, there will be more links, but there isn't a link in this video. Sorry. But they will be they're doing a 15% off, which will start here very soon for their Father's Day promotion. So if you're looking at it. Perry G, up in Auburn, I spent a lot of summers up there as a kid. You're not very far from there. It's like you're reminiscing. It's just over the hill from you. So I need to make sure I've got the truck, luckily, because I did a lot of work to it today. Like I said, worked on it all day. It's ready to go. And that's like the hard part. Now I just got to make sure it go through. I should have a nice relaxing night, which is good because I feel like I just have not lately. And I've got to be there early to get over like there's a kind of a pain for parking. Whew. Any more work on the base camp? Not yet. As soon as I kind of make my list of things here, that's probably what will pull up. The base, where is it? That's the comp truck. That's the base camp up there. We'll grab that here in just a second. My wife is going to get me one for Father's Day. She missed my birthday yesterday. Ooh, she missed it. Let's see. I need my basic tools. What I need to write these things down for is because if I don't, I will forget sunscreen and water because I'm a child and I forget how to take care of my basic needs. Jeremiah, thank you, sir. I use the ISDT Pro 6 smart charger. Also, that ISDT ESC been a pain. Thinking of selling a rig to buy 2 Tamiya kits. I don't know the ISDT Pro 6. This is the only ISDT I've ever owned. The ISDT ESC has been a pain. That's weird. It's so simple. It's a brushed only ESC. I don't understand how it's been a pain. Thinking of selling a rig to buy 2 Tamiya kits. I love my Tamiya kits, but I like them. I have a hard time being like, that's something I want to replace something with. It's just like they're good, fun builds, and then I'm like, yeah, they just kind of sit there. I only have one in here right now, don't I? Of all the ones I've built, it's the only one. Oh yeah, Dead Man's Crawl is tomorrow. Did you double check the servo horn attachment? I did. and because I went to a longer servo horn, ground my steering stops, so it steers like wild now. Crazy, crazy. What model is that charger? Q8. Q like queen, number 8. I say we do a 24-hour Tamiya race. Thanks for the tip on using nitro to get windows clear on that body. Pretty new to crawling, and that made my TRX4 look a ton better. Yeah, it'll work on damn near anything, so that's definitely easy. We'll grab the base camp and I still don't know that I've recovered from the 24 hours of pain that this build was. What class are you running tomorrow? It's basically class 2. We have different rules here locally. So I'm not running my class 2 truck, which is up there. That's the carbon fiber brazen scale one. My comp truck is the one I painted that power wagon for. I'd grab it, but I can't. So I can't. I just can't. So this is it's still in pretty decent shape. There's still a lot of things left to do though. I'm buying a new body, and we're going to get a proper paint job on it, because then it'll look way better. So that's kind of wild looking. I wonder if I could get this to put a Power Master on it. No, I am, well, for one, no. But for two, RC4 Drive didn't send you a truck. Aren't you a fan? Yeah, I don't think RC4 Drive's not in for sending me trucks. I'll tell you that. While I have bought several of theirs and built most of them, you know. So I was just looking. You can see my the dust that has come straight off of the pinion there, and just like chucked it straight across the receiver and everything. I mean, I was just throwing this thing through the dirt, so it doesn't really surprise me. But oh, I never did discuss what had happened, why I had that issue with the electronics during the build. That was, whew. I had grabbed this TRX, or this, what is this, RX4 out of the parts bin, and it was already wired up, good to go. The wires for the motor were already on it, everything like that, power, the plug, the whole deal. The only thing that I needed to do was I needed to wire in this little JST to do the direct power servo. Well, I soldered it in quickly, but I just wasn't thinking. I was in such a rush, not paying attention, that I wired the ground side of this JST lead to the lead right next to the power side. Well, that on an RX4 is not the ground. It doesn't go ground and power and then ABC like for the motor. It goes A, then the power, B, then the ground, then C. It's very odd. So I ended up having some weird wiring going on, and it was just freaking things out. Yeah, that was just an inconvenient situation. But I am surprised that this truck has held up to everything that I did during the testing phase of it, because I I mean, this 3100 kV, I was running it on 4S, and I geared up as well. And it was pretty sure that's how every brushless ESC I've used is. I don't think so, Alex. Let's see. Oh, I did change webcams, so interesting to see if that one's any better. You guys didn't discuss your motor speed setups in your vids. Yes, we did. God. Whoever kept asking that question, who I did find out, was just like, yeah, we did. We both did, very clearly. What is going on? Like, what was the mental block that was happening that he kept wanting to argue? Oh, I know yours was a joke. I know you weren't that person. So, yeah, that was good. But so, like I said, replacing the body so that I can get a nice paint job on this thing is kind of, and I really don't know that I'll do almost anything else other than I never got around to changing we're going to change cameras back. So I did put the SAD shocks on the front, and I wanted to put them on the rear and I just didn't have time to build them. So I need to do that, build the 90s. I think they're here on the desk, maybe not. I don't know. And then I probably need to put a limiting strap on it because I kind of messed up this one shock already. So I don't know. Replace with actual Basecamp body or the Proline body. I'll still use this same Basecamp body. I need to make sure that it's the exact same. I mean, maybe I could risk it and try and use the metric and hope that everything else is the same, but I don't know if I want to. Like, I don't know if there could be differences here or there. Because, you know, all this tube work is fit exactly to the shape of that bed and all that. And if it has to move at all, I just don't want to risk it. So, plus, you know, am I going to do all the detailing? Like, maybe not. And then as another bonus, I don't have to finish removing the paint from the other 3 windows that I skipped. So the bed on it was fun. I was glad that I just went the fabrication route, even though I do wish that I would have done a little bit more on the looks style. Any IFS in the future? No, not for me. I'm not a big fan of IFS on these trucks. I've never really seen one that worked that well or looked that good at this scale. So, you know, the Twin Hammer, that one was a good IFS, or fairly good IFS. It had its weak points too. But, you know, I'm not going to try and hack one of those into this. So, it's, I do have those straight axles here. And those are one thing that I was thinking I should put on here. But I don't know if I'm going to do that on this stream. Maybe on a future stream. I'm kind of just fine with setting this aside for a minute and not working on it. Just because it was so much. Play with your new Losi yet? No, I haven't. It's it's I mean, you can tell these are both 10th scale cars, right? Both 1/10 scales. I mean, that's fun. Ugh. Let's have it the straights. I know. I just don't know if I want to go through, because if I put the straight axle on there, for one, the links are supposed to be different. I have no idea if I kept the links. It's just going to be a whole lot of back and forth that I just don't know that I want to do right now. Are you going to print the fuel cell? I need to design the fuel cell first, but I think that just a nice, simple fuel cell for the bed would look good. So I think I still do want to do that. it'll kind of also, it had created a bit of a gap actually that you can see in there right now. So that's that is the next step to get that kind of finished off. Let's see. Totally 10 scale. Any reason you use straight argon and not an argon CO2 mix? Do you do much aluminum? I mean, I use C25 on like a MIG welder, but on TIG, always all argon. So I never do never do C25 mix on a TIG. So, let's see. What motor need to see for the Rift kit? It's a good question. My Rift, honestly, my Rift has been, I've got another one, but my other Rift has been apart basically since not too long after it came out. I just haven't driven it much because we used it to like make parts and things like that, and I just never ended up putting it back together. Let's see. Both are 110 scale. Tacoma size versus full size. Mike J, that would be very incorrect. Like, that is still not anywhere near the correct split between those. Did I ever get a new TIG? I did. I ordered it. It has not been here yet. It has not come yet. It was supposed to be like mid-May, and now the website says, what does it say? I still have the tab open on my phone. Currently it says delayed until early June. So that's coming soon, but it's not here yet. Furic cup on the TIG. I don't have a Furic cup on there now. I just have a regular gas lens. The new one, maybe I will go to something like that. Proline came out with a new pre-runner body. What are your thoughts? I don't know yet. I don't know. It looks a little funny to me, but it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. I've already said about what is the beverage of choice tonight. Sparkly water. Waterloo. Black cherry water. What did you end up getting for the TIG? It is an AHP is the brand. And it's the 203XI or 11, I guess, if it's supposed to be whatever you want to call it. Roman numerals. Jeez, I can't think. Nix 909. Thank you, sir. Happy Friday. What would be good VP axles to convert a bomber to 1.9? The Wraith is my all-time favorite, but it is so old. The bomber cage looks better. Well, also, thanks for joining, Nix, my favorite Beam NG developer, or mod developer. So thanks for popping in. And so the bomber, it's got, you would need to change the skid plate first, I think, to get the best way. Go to like a 3-gear transmission, because then it opens up a ton of options if you do that. Change the skid plate out to like the UC Fab skid plate for a 3-gear. Throw that in there, get rid of that front electronics box, and then you're pretty wide open to like axle choices. As far as which ones to go with if you want to go 1.9. You could go with the SCX-10 F9s because you can get a servo on axle mount, and that would be the easiest route to go. So that's probably what I would say. UC Fab is not doing bomber skids for a bit. They'll be doing them soon. I'm helping out with getting them all the files they need to be able to get them up and machining quickly. So, yes, they should be going back before we're back up and running. Played hooky from the shop and ran my base camp all day. Great truck out of the box. Brazen, I agree. As far as SCX3s go, the base camp is the one to go with. As much of a Jeep person as I am, the simpler design of the base camp is the best one they've done so far. Clinton Windship. Comping tomorrow? I am. Clint. There you go. I thought they were drag racing tomorrow. I expected you to be going to that. So, And my new SCX6 too. I get it now with the 6. Telling you, people always think that SCX6 is a weird, like, I don't get it, I don't get it. But once you drive an SCX6, you're like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I have a UC Fab skid I was going to use, but decided I have enough crawlers and want to have one that's a bit faster. Still, David Ferris, use that UC Fab skid, because like in the Ultra 4 days, you'd throw in that UC Fab skid, 3 gear, get the motor in there nice and low. It keeps it more planted. You get that whole bomber down low. Is my bomber here? No, my bomber's at the office. You get that bomber real low like that, and for fast, then it totally changes that thing. Comp tomorrow and dragging in Delta on Sunday. Sunday is the drag race. That makes sense. Oh yeah, Dan's going to the comp, so that makes sense. We need Vanquish aluminum LCXU housings that allow for bigger bearings. I don't know if you could get bigger bearings in there, is the problem, because they're internal to the gear, not to the case. So the problem, you need gears that are built for bigger bearings. See, that's the problem. So Pilot Ryan hooked it up with both rigs. Thanks. He's the owner of your LHN. Nice. I've chatted with Mr. Ryan in messages before, but let's see. A direct power to a first generation SHV 500 servo or BEC needed. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. I can't answer that. I do not have that type of memory. I had a first generation, but I hear screaming cats. Yes, you do, because I'm not paying attention to them, and I'm the only one here. And they've been home alone all day. They're very needy cats. They're not like normal cats. They just can't go sleep. They gotta be doing something. The SHV 500 is only 3S capable. There it is. Okay. Ben Morin, Mr. Zuki. Hey, Josh, need another blanket? I don't. The one that I currently have, I use every night. It's still one of my favorite RC trades I've ever done. I traded, not telling, the squatted CEN F450, which you guys possibly remember, for a hand crocheted Afghan. Best RC trade I've ever made. I was also planning on doing the 2-speed for my bomber as well. Still a possibility though. I'm telling you, don't do a 2-speed. Do a 3-gear with a nice brushless system. Way better. Pet the damn cat already. It won't help. They'll just keep going. If you give them any attention, then they yell even louder for longer. DRZRC. Thank you, sir. Hey, Josh. If you were to make aluminum body panels for a Wraith 1.9 and wanted to see trail damage, what thickness sheet would you use? So this is the aluminum sheet that I use all the time. I just happen to have it handy here from when I was using it on the base camp. This is 0.025 inch aluminum sheet. And it will dent. Like I used to use this for the panels on all my buggies. And it would dent. It's not very thick. Brazen says metal mashers are 050. You sure they're not like 005? 050, that's twice as thick as this. There's no way. So, you know, that's 050. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, there's no way. So this will dent, and you know, like it'll show, but it's not going to be like if you lay it against a rock and drive, it's going to barely do anything to you unless you use this, which is also 050, or sorry, 0.025. The same, these are both the same material or thickness. The difference would be if I cut a coupon. So this one here, which is like what I used on the base camp, if I mean, I can bend it, and it takes a decent amount of force to do that. But if I use this one, I can just like it just because this is annealed aluminum sheet. They'll call it dead soft or annealed. But while it's the same thickness, it's super bendable, pliable. This is what I use when I do stamped panels. So if I wanted to do panels with trail damage, I would still rather use 025 and I'd use annealed because it'll absolutely show it better. Use beer cans. They smash easy. Ugh, yeah, but still. So what grade of aluminum though? I don't know what this is. It's probably like a 3000 grade or something like that. And let's see. I'm missing a bunch of comments, obviously, but hopefully that was thinking 0.020, but wasn't sure. Thanks. No problem. You got me thinking 419s on the base camp are the way to go. Telling you, it looks so much better than the 475s, and that's coming from me. Saw Jesse James do that process with a torch so the aluminum would bend easier without tearing. Yeah, I mean, I remember them doing that in like biker build off, right? But I thought that was like with copper sheet or something like that. I don't remember Jesse working with aluminum as much. Sure he did. So I used 6065 aluminum once to make an electric fan shroud in my F-250. 6065, not a great if you plan to do any bending. It doesn't bend well. Will you build me a truck? Ben, I don't know that that's a realistic request. I don't think that that's true. I took 18 gig of running footage today. That'll happen. That's it goes well. So usually when I'm going and shooting and running, like when I shot the base camp, I shot everything at 1080 at 240 frames a second, and that, you'll fill up a 64 gig card quick. But you can find exactly what you need out of it then, which is nice. Will you build me a truck? I will accept Lego. Question, is my gatekeeper at class 2 if I put a front bumper that's as wide as the frame rails? Let's see. Would a gatekeeper still meet requirements? Ben is in here. I can't think of why it wouldn't. I think that it would. As long as the tires, the inside of the tires aren't wider than the inside of the door. Yeah. So when is Axial going to officially announce the partnership with J Concepts? When, I could see Horizon buying J Concepts. I could see it. Honestly, if anybody is, it seemed like it seems like RC 4-wheel drive would be partnering with them. I think maybe they secretly worked on that new body together. And that new RC 4-wheel drive body is just right. That thing is terribly ugly. Paul Scholman, thank you, sir. What is a good 3-gear to use for a bomber or wraith? They seem to need to be bigger to reach out on the longer skids. Ah, gotcha. That is a good point. I have seen, it's been a minute since I've thrown one in there. I had one that was a 3-gear. I guess I would just look for a 2.2 Wraith 3-gear. That would be the way to go. Anything that uses the that case, because it's got extended outputs. You used to be able to buy extended outputs for transmissions. I'm not sure if you can still do that. Maybe Super Shafty still sells extended outputs. It used to be a thing. I just don't know if it still is. But that I would either look for a set of extended 5mm outputs or an original 2.2 Wraith style 3-gear. VP with dig and UC Fab servo mount. You can always do it one with a dig, but how's your TWS build coming, Josh? It's not. It's dead. It's dead now. RIP. It's been dismembered. The body will be staying, and the rest will be not. Hi. Anyone know if the micro 24 scale sand scorchers are shipping? I ordered back in November 21. They will not respond to messages. Interesting. I was not aware of that. Less chatty, more compy. Thanks, Matt. I finished the truck at work today. You saw a photo of that. Damn it. The magnetic phone case picks up screws randomly. Or grinding dust when you're doing a 24-hour build in the garage. But, so I still just have a list of things to get ready for the comp, and that's about it. Brian Sherwood, thank you again. Difference with Pro and Phoenix link sets. The F10s are technically have a little bit different link set. Between the Pro has shorter rear links. I think the rear links are like 122 millimeters, and the Phoenix and Ultra use 124 millimeter links to correct the wheelbase. Since it's got a portal box, if you have any pinion angle, it shortens your wheelbase. So you have to extend it to stand that portal box upright more to keep your wheelbase at 12.3. Robinson Racing has the extended trans gears for the Wraiths. I do remember those. Those always used to be a really weak output though. So that was one of those ones that I never was big on pushing because they were not very strong back in the day. Only we would have a magnet. Yeah, that's, Josh, did Devlin talk to you in California about Sorka? No, he did not. I didn't end up wasn't able to make it to there. Shoot me a message later. I'd love to hear what you're referencing. Tonight's drinking game. If you hear a cat scream, take a shot. Yeah, you'll be dunzo. It's just Sookie. She's such a needy pain in the ass. How long is the Phoenix freewheel deal going to be? Oh, yeah, if you didn't see that. Right now, if you order a Phoenix, you get to choose what aluminum wheels you want. Any color, any style. There you go. Right now, I think I've got it set up on the website for a month, which I think was the 19th to the 19th or 18th to the 18th. Can't remember. It's not a advertised time frame because it could be shut off at any time depending on supply. But so it could go for a month. I'm just got off the toilet, looked just like the RC4 Drive FJ55. Rude. Oh man. Is that what that noise is? Oh boy. Yeah, sure is. And that, sir, caused my pain from that makes sense. I will be offering a substitute body option for the. Will you be offering a substitute body option for the Phoenix? No. I don't know what you mean, but no. Wonder when Joe is painting Josh a cat-themed truck. SX24, they are becoming competitive around here. Anything coming from Vanquish? Anyone figure out what rod ends to use when building your own links? So, we've looked at them. And the problem is, it's just, for those tiny parts, like, it doesn't take that much less time to make a set of knuckles for a 24 scale than it does a 10th scale. So like competing with the Chinese stuff, it's just like damn near impossible. So, and that market is, they want to pay $10 for a set of knuckles. And it's like, well, that's just not going to happen. So I enjoy them. I've got a bunch of them somehow, but I don't know. I wish we could. I just don't think that it's in the cards. Aussie RC Queen, thank you, sir. When will VP have 2.9 alloy rims? Not anytime soon. I think that we will have 2.2 wheels sooner than 2.9s. And that could mean anything at this point. So, did you do the paint on the new RC four-wheel drive? Hey, my paint job here recently wasn't as terrible. Some of us refused by Chinese. I know, but there's not enough of you that refuse. So that's part of the thing that we just have to. It's the way, and we only have so many machines, so much production. So it's just like, okay. RC Queen, Josh says, thank you, sir. Did I say that? I apologize. I didn't mean it's just something I say. Thank you. Just thank you. It doesn't have to be. I'm on such a, my bad. You win some, you lose some. Your patina job was way better than our Field Drive's sponge painted Blazer. Oh, hey, I'll take that as a win. Granted, it took me 6 hours. Maybe less of a win. I bet theirs was a lot faster. I'm guessing Nicole gave you the shirt since you didn't seem to be happy with the cats. I actually like this shirt. I don't really remember where it came from. It was Kansas City, and it had something to do with a guy who supported the Royals, and it was a thing. Dang, you weren't kidding about SCX24 multiplying. Just got Bronco number 6. I don't know why those things seem to be at a price point where it's just like, yeah, I'll just pick up another. Like, I was going to do this, and it's like, I'll just grab another one and do that to that one. And it's like not worth disassembling one to do something new like it is with the 10 scale. Just like, I'll just pick a new one up. We'll go from there. What did I miss? First weekend, new shift. Don't work Fridays now. Hey, and was working on modifying STL of inner fenders. Oh, man. Modifying STLs, not anywhere on my list of favorite things to do. The print on your shirt and hat are backwards like the old days. What? And are backwards like the old... What do you mean they're backwards? I think they're quite appropriate. Well, you have to get multiple 24s. They get lonely. Well, mine probably would, since I'll only work on them for a minute here, and then I don't touch them for days, and then yeah. Show your patina body VS 410 Pro, please. It's in the garage right now. So that one, I was trying to think of where it's at. It's so beat up, but it's in the garage because it's very dirty from the last time I ran it. Pulling up to the house from Florida, 14-hour drive. Well, hopefully Disneyland was worth it. At least you beat the weekend rush. How about a 24-hour build with the TRX4 Sport? I would like to see a cage done like you did in the base camp. I mean, it would be a thing. The problem is that it would be like almost exactly the same as a base camp. As far as that would go, we just have to think of something new to do. I mean, it's a possibility, but I feel like we need something that would be a departure from the last one. I definitely want to do another one here soon. I just have to find the right platform to convince Matt to do it. He's the one who just requires so much more beauty rest. But the comp stance on your hat looks like Amber Heard leaving a mint on a pillow. Drift car mayhem. No. Drift cars are kind of fun for me, but not fun enough to want to. And yeah, you know, it's like beauty rest. It's not working, and I haven't got any of it. So obviously, that's where mine comes from. I think a full outside cage would look in. Ugh, I hate outside cages. You will never see me do an outside cage. I think they look terrible. I think they look terrible in full size when people do exo cages, and I think they look terrible in RC when people do exo cages. It's just yeah, not a fan. You need to convince Matt to build a Toyzuki. I wonder if, I don't know if we could, we'd give it to him and he'd go, what do I do with this? 24-hour mayhem build with the FJ55. I'm sure you guys. Ooh. You. I don't know. I think I would end up just sitting there for 24 hours looking at it going like, I can't think of anything that would make this look good. Exos seem to be popular with XJs. They seem to be popular with XJs and Toyota pickups. Yeah, and I think they look terrible in both. Let's see. I think it's time for you and Matt to redo the hang time challenge. This time based on SCX24 Gladiators for Wake. At least if we had those, we could probably do it with enough motor. And just be... Exocage XJ is something of dreams. Fever dreams, maybe. Like when you're not thinking right. It's... Yeah. Cherokees need exocage because they don't have frames. Yeah, it's just... You can just build them on the inside still, and then just create there. It's just easier to build them on the outside. And it's like, it's an XJ. Let's just do it the easy way because it's just an XJ. Like, let's not put too much work into this. Thoughts on the Axial Fest West location? Oh, man. I saw the live videos, I think, with a lot of people this week. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of what I was concerned about. There doesn't seem to be much terrain. I'll be there regardless. I'm gonna be there. I just don't know. I throwing events is freaking difficult. And that, man, finding a place this last minute to be able to do it, like the work that they're putting in is gonna be wild. But the camping looks terrible. The camping looks great. The campsites are what's the good part. It's the terrain otherwise. Like, I thought the camping was probably some excellent, but I just worry about the terrain. It'd be a great place to just go hang out with everybody, but we're usually there to drive tiny trucks around a bit. But I also don't know what's outside of the campsite, So, yeah, I don't know. So, no power, no water. Well, yeah, no power. I know. I guess I just expect generators. Like, if I'm going camping, I'm going to have a generator likely. And then the water thing, yeah, that's, I guess I'm usually more bougie camping where it's like, okay, well, it's got to fill the water tanks. How much alcohol is it going to take to get you and Nicole to Axial Fest? I'd love to do it. It's and part of why I wasn't going to be able to make it was possibly K&K, but then it was like, oh, well, don't think I'm going to be able to get to that. It's like I possibly could, but I don't know. It's all a thing, and it's getting pretty late now. And freaking flights right now are ridiculous. Are you going to film your trike build? Yes. Yes, I am. That, if you didn't see, I bought myself a mini trike frame. I'll pull up the so I bought, it's just the frame that I bought, but it's this little thing from the Garage Vlog, and it uses a Harbor Freight go-kart racing engine, the Ghost. So yes, I am going to film it. That'll be fun. Josh, where's that orange Jeep from last week? There it is. Are you still going to K&K next month? It does not seem like it. I was trying to make it happen. And just with everything that was stacking up, it wasn't going to make it. Definitely didn't get it done in time. Josh, sorry, read that already. I did see that. Looks on. And or as Nicole will call it, Death Machine. See, Nicole loves that stuff though. Nicole used to love riding my downhill trike, my non-gas powered little racing trike. She rode that all the time. She loved to race those. So I think she'll be all in. Why no SCX-10 3 incision links? Probably need to. At the time, there wasn't, just because like they came with the good stainless links already, and they had like the turnbuckle style, which was ridiculous. Plus, they used a different type of rod end for clearance on the front, so there was just a lot of different things. But now with the base camp coming with a much more basic style, it's probably something that I'll get done and out. Is it going to be orange powder coated? I don't think so. I don't know what style I'm going to go with yet. So yeah, some PVC pipes on the rear wheels, and boom, drift trike. We've got a drift trike at the shop already, a big wheel style drift trike. A lot of fun. I would not want to try and drift trike this thing, just because you sit so much higher. So, it's, I think that this one, honestly, I want to build this one to be able to go putt around at events and, campsites and blah, blah, blah. Little things. A fun little putt around. I am not interested in trying to do 55 miles an hour on it. Anything like that. Mostly what I want it for is the build. So, yeah, because you have a hefty life insurance policy and she wants more cats. I do have a good life insurance policy, just to make sure she'll be okay. Do you know how heavy the base camp came out? Because it looked like you used rod instead of tube. I didn't weigh it. I guess I haven't weighed it. No. The back is definitely heavy now, for sure. But I was kind of going for a pre-runner, and so I wasn't worried about it at all. Kind of, when it jumps, it stays a little bit more nose up now, which is good. So, what's the truck in front of you? It's a truck that I had bought a while ago, and I was gonna try and do stuff with it, and I don't have time, so I'm selling it. So I listed it on my website, but yeah, that is it. It's a little custom cage, steel cage, hard body, hood. Uh, it's got the interior, some interior components, things like that. They're just not in there right now. So the get with Holmes. I haven't built you a custom motor for. I want the gas. I want gas because like for that reason. Um, I will give you $5. You will be you'll be very very short. So, what's my website? rc4wheeldrive.com. I'm kidding. It's harleydesigns.com. Couldn't remember the name of my own website. Harley Designs. Hard. And let's. I like that the comp prep so far has been writing 3 things on a notepad. Has there only been 3? 5. 5 things on a notepad. Thank you. Listen, live streaming comes before real life preparation. So said I wanted to go to bed early. Instead, I'll just sit on here and answer RC questions because that is something I enjoy much more than doing work. I can do that stuff later when I don't have a bunch of friends watching online. This water is the only one that fizzes up like that. 5 things and one of them is sunscreen. Of course it's sunscreen. Like I said, I have to be water, sunscreen, tools, 5,000 milliamp pack charged, and my other charger. So, is your wife back home yet? Nope, she is not. I've got to go pick her up. Still, I don't know when her flight lands, but one of these Friday nights I did the flight tracker because she was landing and I live streamed right until the minute I needed to leave to go pick her up. Not tonight though. Not this week. Or not. How's her trip going? I think that it's going fine. I talk to her most days. She's getting to spend time with our nephew, which is her favorite thing in the world. So that's all that counts. That's all that really matters. But so yes, that is the Jeep from last week. I need to sell this thing. That is what I need to do. I need to sell that orange one. I need to sell the Flex Seal truck, which is in the dark right here. What is this? Here's the other one that hasn't been up here in a long time. You guys remember when this was going to be, this is what I was building for class 2 in 2020. And I just never finished it. After it got canceled that year, brand new tire. I know. Brand new tires on brand new Cerakoted wheels. The VFD. I think this was my actual. This was my test VFD. This was the. No, that's not true. Where was my test VFD? It was, yeah. Yeah, been postponed. Remember? Oh, look at the dust on the. I don't know the last time I touched this truck. Yeah, it is. It is quite dusty. So, I liked the tube work that was on the back of this. It was fun. The rear. This is kind of had airs of pre-runner esque as well, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. I have no idea what to do with this truck either. Do I keep this truck? Am I going to do anything with it? I've probably not. I don't know. It's It, oh, it's got a raw D44 on the front, which I don't even remember. And then it's got the original rear portal axle. That I say original. I did the portal rear axle conversion on my my Pro back in the day, and I had this axle in there, and because it's raw, uncoated. And then later on down the road, I was like, I really want an axle in the back of that Pro that is not raw, so it matches the front. So I took it out and then I put that in here. But be real with yourself. You're not doing anything with that truck. I think I agree, but I also think that I don't sell like raw parts like this, because those are obviously parts that were just, you know, right off of the floor, and that's not a thing. So I probably need to just take the drivetrain out of it and sell the chassis. That's probably what I should do. Maybe I should list that one tomorrow. Fun stuff. I just I walk I it sits on the bottom shelf there, and I never even I don't really ever look at it. Obviously with the dust you can tell. Um, I probably just need to sell the chassis off this one though. So yeah, I've got those to sell. I've got the class one there and the class two over there. Those are both for sale as well. But oh, and I've got the green monster thing. Oof, it's a write off. What's that? What's right? It's a write off. The government pays for it. You ever see any small dimple die sets for the 110 scale fab work we do? Ben, get this thing. I can't remember. I think Buck Dandy sent this to me. So it's a dapping block. So you get this block, and it's got all the dimples. You pre-drill a hole in the aluminum, and then you just take the ball and you find the corresponding hole. Balls and holes. I think it's that one. Put it over it and just dink. And you get the kind of dimple die style. Like, it's not perfect. It's not as good as the and on you can buy this for like $30 or something like that. But it's pretty good. And I'm pretty sure that it was Buck Dandy who showed it to me. I can't remember. So, but yeah. The only pain in the ass thing with this is that when it comes, each one of these things is like individually wrapped in this paper, and it's that like Chinese oil covered paper. Just smells. You gotta wipe it all, clean it all off, get everything wiped down. But it's a cool little set of random tools. I love random tools. You can get these at Harbor Freight. You can get them online. They're inexpensive. Good Lord. It's a good thing I've got such enormous traps. I can lift that up. I've got a set of axles that might need that chassis there, Josh. Eric Baker, what's going on? Thank you. Josh, how about you let me buy that truck chassis only? That truck chassis only. The Jeep one? The one that you're both saying there? I'm thinking I need to sell that chassis. That's definitely an option. There's another comp tomorrow if you're coming out, by the way, Eric. It's up in the Auburn area, though, so a little further. So, trying to catch up. Where are we at? It looks like a sci-fi nightmare. Did Buck Dandy give you a call and was like, hey, bud, check this out? He mainly sends Instagram messages. I think he reserves text messages for special occasions only. Harbor Freight is opening in Auburn next month. I thought they just opened a new one in Auburn already. Huh. Price on the Jeep? I don't know. Wait, which Jeep? I just showed two. The two buggy one, the buggy. What did I? It's on my web. I can't remember what I put on that for a price. I really don't remember. It's on my website though with a price. There's a for sale section. You can go there. I don't remember what else in it. So it's, what truck am I using at the comp tomorrow? It's a truck that I built the night before the last comp. So it's right there on that shelf, but I'm not bringing it to the table tonight. Sorry. Don't worry. It's not like a new truck. There's just a couple of parts that I can't show you. Non-RC, which barbecue in KC was my favorite? Gates. Gates was my favorite, mainly because I really liked their sauce. It was right down the street from my office, because my office was by Crown Center, right on 2400 Pershing, and go down there, and then we'd go up Gates on Main Street. Oh, so good. So good. 1859? That doesn't sound right. I think 50. 1850 was right. That does sound right. I couldn't remember what I put. So, there it is. 1850 was what I had on there. If Jimmy cracks corn and nobody cares, why does he get a song about it? I mean, people write songs about all kinds of things. You know, Mr. Jingleheimer Schmidt got a song and he just had a funny name. So, Josh, opinion on Tech 9. I like Tech 9. You know, Going Crazy, good song. Yeah, you know, so yeah. Tech 9's a thumbs up for me. Question, why, in your opinion, does California produce crap barbecue? Perry G, that's a fantastic question, which I can't answer. I don't understand it either. I don't get, I've had one place in California that I've been to that's had barbecue that I was like, this is really good barbecue. And it's in Rancho Cordova area off of the Matherfield Road exit. And it's called something. It's right by like the baseball fields and stuff. So California doesn't just make crap barbecue. Their pizza sucks too. Yeah. Yeah. I need one of those hats. These are on the Vanquish Products website, and only the ones that are left will remain. I don't think that we're making more of this one. So this will be the last of them. What is your favorite hot sauce? Oh, I don't. Okay. I don't really have just like one favorite hot sauce. I have a bunch that I use. I mean, Tabasco is like my go-to like quick one for like certain things. It's not really hot. It's just I like the flavor. But I have a lot of like hot sauces for things that just, you know, certain foods have to get certain hot sauces though. Like that's just the way that it has to go for me. So like I can't eat Chipotle without Tabasco, and it has to be Tabasco. So, do the VP hats fit big? I too have a massive noggin. Size 8 fitted. Ooh, man, that would be, I feel like that would be past the limit. So I'm like 7 3/4, 7 7/8, depending on my haircut. And I feel like I'm at that upper limit. Like this one maybe would go to an 8, but the other ones I don't think would. This one would be close. Like sometimes I will take and cut the elastic on some hat, but like this one may go to an 8, but that would be about it. Hot sauce or wasabi, which is better? It depends. I wouldn't put Tabasco on my sushi. So I love wasabi with sushi. You know, so it's like I said. Josh, was it Daddy O's Smokehouse? Yes, that is what I believe that it is called, and it's very good. What's the worst worst hot sauce, and why is it Louisiana? Why does he keep referring to Vanquish as we newbie here? Oh yeah, Super Goose. I do work at Vanquish. I work there every day. That's where I go to work. Would you ever do the show Hot Ones? Oh, that'd be for sure. I would think I would have to do my own version of it because I don't think I'm ever making it on that show. But yeah, I would absolutely do that challenge. That would be amazing. I converted from Chipotle Tabasco or Chipotle Cholula. So, see, I like the green Tabasco. That's also a good one. Frank's Red Hot or Tabasco? Tabasco. Tabasco is trash. Too much vinegar. See, I like the vinegar. I like that vinegar. Like, it's part of what I like about it. Best Mexican food places end with Bertos. See, there's one by our shop called El Parian, and it is one of my absolute favorites. So good. Um, let's see. Uh, Works at Vanquish, just not today. I was there all day, and if I was working, and it was even work related. I was mostly all VP parts. You know, there was just other parts. So, yeah, that's you know, what is that company? I don't no idea what that means. See, see, there's so many of the hot. Okay, one of my favorite, like, it's kind of a hot sauce. It's kind of like a salsa type thing. It is. I don't know where all you can get it, but if you live in the or travel to the Lake of the Ozarks area, I know that it's available down there, and it is called goose poop. And it is roughly the color that you would expect goose poop to be, and it's pretty good. It's like a spicy green salsa hot sauce thing. Oh, it's so good on so many things. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Now I want some of it, but don't really have anything to eat it with. Let's. Sacramento cracks me up with Adalbertos, Adalbertos. They all try and oh, they're not the same thing? Perry G, I didn't know that they weren't all the same place. Totally new information to me. I didn't know that we had a bunch of places named very similar things. I thought that they were just all the same. Goose poop made by the Langmores? You know, I always tell Nicole that she is Ruth Langmore. Oh, she does not like that. Not one bit. Okay. You know the white stuff on top of the bird poop is? I think it's like the version of urine, right? For birds. I think that's what it is. Number 24, Alberto's is by, I don't know which one is which now, though. Thanks for making me hungry. Have a good night. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm thinking all the Berto's Mexican restaurants started with Filiberto's in Phoenix. See, what one would you buy, base camp or TRX4 Sport? As much as I like the TRX4s in their own way or for their own things, I think that at this point I would buy a base camp. I think that the performance is better. The center of gravity is better. I know the weak points of both. And I think that I feel pretty comfortable with the SCX3 parts that are still remaining there. And I think that with the battery positioning, especially, that I would find myself, plus the steering on a base camp is going to be much better. Yeah, it's the shocks are not as good on the base camp. TRX4 has way better shocks. The links are much better on the TRX4 Sport. The bodies on both of them are not great. They're just bare bones bodies. The tires on the TRX4 are better, but I think that the low center of gravity is better on the SCX3. The steering is going to be better. The portal design is kind of 50-50. The clearance on the portals is better with the SCX3. So there's, for the pros and cons of both of them, I think that the SCX3 is and before that would have not been the case, because the SCX3s that had been offered up to this point, I was not a fan of. They were just too complicated. And I didn't like the position of the motor. It was too high, and I didn't like how they drove. But I now am a fan. And it's not just because it's the one that just came out and they gave it to me. Like, it was a free truck. They gave me the other ones too, and I was like, I don't like them. Sorry, but nah. Are the portals on the base camp the same as the Capra? Nope. SCX3 and Capras use different axles. Or do you mean the portal knuckle? The portal knuckle is the same. The portal gearing is the same, but the axle housing, or the complete axle, is different. So it's an offset style on the SCX3, and it's narrower than the centered version of the Capra. So that's something to think about. Does the Phoenix portal only come in a kit, or do they make RTR as well? There's only a kit, no RTRs. Nothing beats the original SCX10, in my opinion. I would almost completely disagree in every way. I think that almost everything is better. I mean, the original SCX10 had the terrible steering, huge axles, like plastic links, and it was good in the day because it was the only thing available, let alone, servo on axle. Like, we're comparing now to now, right? Like, what's available. Like, at the time it was great, but now it's boo-boo now. 10.2 is a staple platform. 10.2, absolutely. And it was the one that up until recently, I just pushed. I was just like, the 10.2 is a better truck than the 10.3. Don't buy the 10.3, buy the 10.2. But now, I'm kind of being like, well, with the base camp, like, at least on the modern platform now, I'm fine with suggesting the 10.3 base camp now. Is the axle housing on the base camp stronger than the original 10.3? Not that I know of. I don't have another Portal 10.3 here to compare against. My other ones, yeah, no, I don't. Are not here, but I don't think that there's been any changes. So, any of the weak points that do exist in the housing still exist as far as I'm aware. But maybe they made differences. I don't know. I don't know that. Phoenix wheel sales really enticing. I already have a Phoenix, but may buy another for the parts. That's an option. They're there. It's right now. It's limited. It could go for a month, but I don't know if it will. So, I got an SCX10 on the shelf just to remember how much better we have it. That's the real thing. Like, The SCX-10 was solid enough to be a 10-year leader. At the time, absolutely. It was, and it did great for that period of time. That's it did its job, and you know, now it can retire. So was the 10-2 the same way till the 3-year was the 10-2 the same way until the 10-2? Oh, that's right, because it had the other version of the transmission in. No, I immediately, the 10-2 was such a better truck compared to the original that even that weird transmission that it came with, I didn't hate it, other than the slop that it had in the top shaft. So I didn't hate it enough for it to be something that I was like, nah. So, and it was like the same thing. So if you wanted, you could just take out the old skid plate and throw an original 10-1 skid plate in it and have a 3-gear. Like, we immediately were able to do that. So was no concern. I was worried about rotational weight. Is worrying about rotational weight a thing of the past? No, definitely not. Still a thing for sure. You know, well, with the days of the Facebook groups, so many things that we have understood to not be the way to go for the best performance have gone. It's just Brondo marketing going on out there. People are just like, just look at all this brass I can put on. I've got 9 wraps of lead solder wrapped around my... I'll stay off my high horse. Let's see. And during my rant, it jumped, but if you put the 10-2 axles under an old SCX-10, you're just as good as a 10-2. The problem is to do that, you still have to redo the whole front of it to put in a servo or a chassis mounted servo mount and a panhard. It's like, so it's like not an easy swap. Dale C, thank you, sir. I just discovered the backhoe attachment on my tractor makes it so easy to put all these trees on the bonfire. I think I've already lost some arm hair. Hey, you know you're not doing it. You know you're doing it right if you smell a little bit of burnt hair. Like I'm fine, but I can smell it. You're like, you know what? That's just a warning. You're like, I was at the proper distance away. So, bonus. 5-gear trans sucked. Why would you put the motor in the back seat? No surprise that Axial bailed on it. There's actually a pretty funny story about that, Ben. I wonder if Matt and I can get Matt Carney back on the live stream. Maybe we should have him tell that story. Because that transmission was, I think, initially meant to go the right way in the front. It almost would have made it a front motor. But like back then, I think the Axial marketing team was like, no, the battery has to go in the front. That's where the battery has to be. He's like, fine. He's turned it around. Like desert lizard shocks being the tip. I know. Like, just desert liquors everywhere. Everyone's like, these are the shocks to run. No, they're not. No, they're not. God. Do you ever drive that solid brass TRX4? Nope, I haven't finished it. It sits right. Can you see the roof of it? It's right there. It's this dark spot that's in the screen, but it's so heavy it creates its own little black hole. So it's darker there than it should be. Oh, you still can't see it. Well, you know. No soup for you. Josh, this Milwaukee M18 air blower makes the flames really big. So I've got the Milwaukee. Ooh, that's what I should take. I'm writing on my list. Taking my Milwaukee. You know the hardest part about switching to Team Red? So I've gone to all Milwaukee tools basically, other than my like DeWalt. The hardest problem for me is that I have the hardest time spelling Milwaukee. I was like, M-I-L walk. I'm like, I need to remember a trick to how to spell it right. But I bought that M18 Milwaukee vacuum, and it's a vacuum or a blower. It's so good, so good. Josh, what do you think about the King shocks? Don't do it. Don't do it. It's sitting right there, but he can't lift it. Yeah, exactly. What's the heaviest rig I have? It's absolutely that TRX4, because any other rig I have is usually around like 7 pounds at the high side. I think this 5-year was turned around for the scale appearance of a bell housing. I mean, it was initially going to be the proper way, and then it all just... I'm still waiting for a TRX4 versus SCX6 tug of war. I know. I need to do that. Anyone you can use a Lambo to beef. Wait, what? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's referring to. Do you think Vanquish will make more F9 axles for the Baja Ray platform for the new Hammer Ray? It's a possibility. Milwaukee, exactly. Autocorrect has my back. Dale, sometimes I'm so far off that autocorrect won't do it. So I'm like, I don't know. So I'll use the text or the talk to text to get it. Red drill works. Yeah, you know, like that's why. I mean, I can't believe King allows their name on those shocks. That's what I'm surprised too. Sometimes I'm just like, what? What would you recommend for shocks for the SCX-10-3 Gladiator? I don't know what size shocks that thing uses stock. Because is it straight axles? Or no, it's Portal stock too, right? God, I don't even remember. That's one I never owned. I have a Gladiator, and that's one I didn't own. It's because that's how much I didn't like that transmission. Josh, I have all the commercial grade cordless tools: drill, porta band, impact, sander, grinder, vacuum. I love them all. I know. Yeah. The links you use for class 2, are they 12.3 or 12.8? The links you use for class 2. Oh, the class 2 I used in at Scale Nationals, they're 12.3. It's the SCX-10-2 link set. Milwaukee, yeah. Perry G, thank you, sir. Really? No one got the Wayne's World reference? That's what I know Milwaukee. It's actually an Algonquin for the good land. Is it Algonquin? Is that what he says? It's actually, I could be saying it wrong. I could be culturally appropriating. Yeah. Where did that seemed like a good. I missed one and it went away and I wanted to read it, but dang it. Nope, I can't see it. Dude, your cats are barking now. Weird. Yeah, I don't even. They learn so quick. Should be 90s on the 10.3. Oh man, then you got so many options. Yes, it's Algonquin. Oh, sweet. I was right. I mean, I'm basically putting SADs on everything now. The Incision SADs, and now I love the Incision SAD with just the cap, the new aluminum top cap, and they're fantastic. And so you can do the full build on them. So if you want, but you obviously just the cap is like that's my preference. Do you think manufacturers should forego the licensed parts like bumpers and wheels and put the money towards improving their other parts and reducing cost? So a unspoken little thing, like, you know, people were like, oh, they shouldn't have done the, you know, licensed bumpers and this and spent more money on that. A lot of times, unless it's things like a Jeep body or a Ford body, whatever, a lot of those licensed things don't cost money. Often parts are just a handshake agreement, not a handshake agreement, they're legal written contracts. But in those contracts, it's just, we'll do good by you, you do, you know, like, we're going to provide a replica of your product to the best of our ability, approved by you, and it's being done in a way that you're giving us the ability to make a replica of yours, and we use the leverage of your name and popularity of your full-size product, and we will help expand your marketing in a different market by providing a quality product. And as long as that's being agreed, that it's being satisfied on both ends, there isn't any cost of, you know, percentages or anything like that. Not always, but often. I would venture to guess that in the case of this base camp, that every license deal on there was a no-cost license deal. The Black Rhino wheels, the Falcon tires, the DeMello off-road bumpers, all of those things, dollars to donuts, were unpaid licenses. So, I'd bet you. So, licensed or not, no matter what the manufacturer put out, the public will 100% bitch about it. Exactly. If you get invited to Cletus' next race, would you go? I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd drive straight there if I had to. I actually just got I just got another Cletus shirt. I got the like 90s vibe Hell Yeah Brother Turbo one. I like it. Ouch, that hurt to listen to. Lawyer jargon is painful. See, Mike, you gotta expand your horizons to how it's talked. You know, it's how it goes. Stealth X or 3-gear axial. I like the idea of the Stealth X and what it did. It just seems a little bulky, and it's pretty tall, like, for what it is. But I do like that it has the, you know, the ability of the overdrive in it. So in a lot of situations, I would say that Stealth X is pretty cool. Too bad Rich isn't here to confirm that thought about licensing. We'll ask him next week, because he's going to be on Live Takeover next week. But I bet you, if he'll say, or if, you know, depending on who made what decisions in that project outline, if he knows or has to know. So yeah. Let's see. Have you seen today's video? Leroy is going pro mod. I did. I watched it right before I watched Matt's live video. Yeah, they cut the back half of Leroy off so they can do a solid axle and 4-link, which I'm on board for. Love it. I know some people are purists about it. Nah, just do it. Cletus wanted to suggest on content creators for his next event on the video comments. I think that he's looking for a different level of content creators. I'm guessing that the content creators that will be there are million+ subscriber level. Like, those guys are, that's big time stuff over there. Let's see. I'll accept donuts if you're wrong. I don't know where that saying ever came. Dollars to donuts. I feel like I grew up with that saying. I don't know if anyone else ever. Is that a thing that other people say, or is that just another weird Midwest saying that I grew up with? These licenses are fees. The box just has to say brought to you by. Oh, man. I recently got a 3100 Rock 412 and an RX4 for my bomber, and I'm worried about motor temps. What pinion, spur, and diff gears did you run in your crazy savvy bomber? Oh, man. That was a while ago. I think I ran a... What did I run? Ah, man. If I'm guessing, I ran a 5615 spur and pinion, and I probably ran the stock ratio 3813s in the axles, but I don't know. I don't say it, but I'm familiar with dollars to donuts. Okay. I say it all the time. All right, so it's not just a weird one. Sometimes I'll say those weird sayings that I grew up with, and the guys at work just look at me like, what? What did you say? Like, yeah. Let's see. The only... What? Hi. Come on. You guys don't see Safi very often. She's the old kitty. Every once in a while she'll come and visit, though. She'll come visit me. It's only because Nicole's not here, though. Otherwise, she would see her. Can you inform me how the slash Exotech Vader is just... Nope, I have no idea. That is definitely not something I know anything about. I haven't heard that phrase since Scrooge McDuck. It's kind of like fixin' to. I've heard, I didn't use that one as much. I'm fixing to go to the store later. It's kitty. Exactly. Looks like a mini puma. She is a seal point snow bengal. Did you learn TIG welding for RC, or was it a skill you had before this hobby? How hard to learn for RC? I knew zero about welding before this hobby. I bought a TIG welder only to learn so that I could build RC things. I wouldn't say that I'm a great welder. I don't know. I've never had any formal training. I went to the YouTube Academy of Welders. So I can stick things together. Sometimes I can make them look decent. And, yeah, that's, it's great to do, though. It's so much fun. So tiny compared to your leopards. Yes, she is not very large. She's a little one. She used to be very fat. She's getting less fat in her old age. Beets or pickled beets? Beets are one of the foods that I won't eat. I think they taste like dirt. I think they're terrible, and I want nothing to do with them. I thought you only had 2 cats. How many do you have? We have 3. This one, and then the 2 monsters. Your kitty is stealing the show. That's because she's so sweet. Yeah, she's probably sick of the kids outside the RC room. Yeah, she gets along so well with Chief. Sookie, she's not a fan of. YouTube welder, but very, very nice mini notcher. Oh. Let's see. Don't tell Nicole that super pretty looking lynx I got was going to trap and bring down to run. Oh my God. got her run over by a car. Oh man, that sucks. Grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. Yep, I've heard that many times. That's why I have fancy little mini grinders as well. So, buy the TIG based on what you want to do with it. Duty cycle matters. Yeah, that's definitely true. For RC, you don't need much duty cycle at all. So, we are doing pretty. Now, my welders, all the welders that I've had will do more than I've ever needed them to, but you know, very calm cat compared to the others. Yes, that's because she's so old. She has a heated cat bed that she rarely leaves. It's weight actuated. Actuated? Yeah. Activated. Weight activated. So she goes and lays in there and it turns on and she just melts in there. Haven't seen a notcher for sale yet. I know. I need to make a modification to it and I just haven't done it because I don't really, it still works fine the way it is. I just haven't. I know you've got pull with Fataba. Can you get us a scroll wheel for the rear steel? Oh, I know. And a 4PK. Ben, if I told them something for a 4PK, they'd be like, that thing that came out in 2008? Yeah. The purring is nice background. Oh. See, you're being helpful for once, you old lady. She's least obnoxious. Harbor Freight special for TIG, or is that too cheap? I think that they've got some nice TIGs now, or reasonably nice, but I don't know them. I've never used one of them. They definitely have ones that have a lot more features now. It's chili dogs and our little science live for dinner. Let's see. Wait, so I don't need a 50-pound spool of welding wire? Crap. Harbor Freight TIG for RC is fine. As long as it has high frequency start. For RC, if you have a DC TIG with high frequency start, like you're in good shape. Like that will do everything pretty easily. So you don't need an AC/DC. You know, you don't need to do aluminum. So yeah, I did a smart thing and traded my Yeti for a 1.9 Wraith that has links and a servo, front chassis brace, tracks as canyons. What other mods should I do to improve it? If you go back, I did a Wraith 1.9 build right before Axial Fest last year, which was kind of fun. That would be a good place to take a look. Did your truck sustain any damage from nationals? Nope. I don't think so. Technical question that has been boggling my mind for a while. I convinced myself one way is better than the other, then switch sides. Wait. What? What's the question, Ben? Technical question. Are you going to put the question? When you get into sine wave and special features, then you're talking big money. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Offset diff help. Okay, this is the question. Offset diff helps with torque twist? Question mark. Driver drop or passenger drop affect the fulcrum point of the torque twist. 10.2 gears. That's an interesting question. Would it have an effect? So the reason that I don't know if it would, because while it would think, God, it seems like it would have to have some effect. It has to have some effect. Some. It would be because you're putting a torquing motion away from the instant center of the axle. Now, whether it helps or hurts would depend on the way that the gear set is and which way that it's. Yeah, now I got to look at an axle. This is a nerd question. I love it. Oh, and then it matters if you're doing portal or non-portal because that reverses the rotation as well. So which way? So clockwise on a portal, clockwise on the input on a portal spins the tires the correct way. So is it left-hand rule or right-hand rule? I can't ever remember. I think it's right-hand rule. Um, so you would, like, if you hold this and so if I hold that, wants to go that, okay. Right hand. So it would seem like with a portal, it would help keep the right front down because of the rotation direction. But with a straight axle, so the question is that since the diff is offset, would that affect, God, such a good, it's an interesting question that I'm sure very few people care about. Whether or not the diff being offset and further away from the instant center where the torque is being applied by the drive shaft. Be better. So if it was going to have any effect compared to a centered with a portal, it should help, not hurt. But with a non-portal where the gear, where that clockwise rotation, which would help put the force down, would be the wrong way, it should. Fulcrum point could be the chassis or the terrain. Yeah, but it's more so the instant center of the axle where it rotates about. So, not the terrain is what it's being it's where the scale would be. That wouldn't be your fulcrum. Your fulcrum would be the instant center of the suspension movement, because that's what the torque twist is acting around. So you'd almost have to put that in a model. So interesting. I'm sure that I'll continue to think about that. But I'm almost, if I was going to put more, if I was going to put my money on what it would be for a portal, it would be helping. I feel like I'll stand by that and then move on. What's the thickest sheet metal? Oh, sorry. What's the thickest sheet aluminum you'd use, like the bed liner of the rear of your base camp, or thinnest steel if you needed to braze to it? Ooh. Like the bed liner of your, what is the thickest aluminum or thinnest steel if you needed to braze? Thickest aluminum, like for that type of thing, like I was talking about for the base camp. I have some thicker than 025, but this is always just like a perfect material for me. Because you can cut it with tin snips. You can easily bend it and get nice crisp bends. The other nice thing is that when you make cardboard templates of it, like with a box, like I've used the bubbly box for so long, it's like a really close approximation to it. So everything about it is just a really solid choice. I don't ever buy thicker than this because I don't. Now for steel, I've got when I'm trying to do like tabs. Oh, what did I do? So like on the back of the base camp. Oh, still can't see them, but you see these here. It goes down and it bends and it kicks back in because I TIG welded that on both sides. Now TIG welding thin sheet metal is, for an amateur like me, it's a little bit more difficult. Brazing makes it easier. But I use like 24 gauge, which is sometimes difficult to TIG for me. But especially when I'm trying to TIG 24 gauge sheet metal to 3/16 solid steel. So, yeah, that's definitely worth trying. What's wrong with King Shocks? I have new ones sitting on my workbench. They look good and they perform terribly. Terribly. I'm guessing that you're a long ways back in the chat or the video, though. You may not hear that for a while because we talked about that like 20 minutes ago, I bet. The 4-link center offset from the instant torque center would definitely fight each other more than the center pumping. That's what yeah. And so, look at the instant message you just got. I rarely do that on, and if I have to go through my, you're going to be in my requests somewhere. Oh, see. This is the problem. I've opened and I've got, Instagram trying to do the whole Reels thing. If you didn't know, you can get paid to make Reels on Instagram, and they actually do pay you. I don't know which one you were or if it's in my requests, but yeah, I don't really do that on the stream very often. Sorry. I'll check him later. Let's see. Tap the live in the corner of the stream to get caught up. Well, yeah, but now it's going to be a little hard for me to do that. Josh, I think the STL Sundays, we should use the other features of Fusion and look at the stress models between portals, straight axle. I honestly don't know that side of Fusion very well. I can do it in SolidWorks better, but in Fusion, it would be, what's the name of the heated cat bed? That'd be a Nicole question. I don't know those things. She buys the cat toys. Let's see. It will lift the passenger side easier than the driver's side because the force is closer to the fulcrum driver wheel. When it tries to lift the driver wheel, the force will be further. Yeah, but I think what the actual question is the rotational input of it and how it would translate to the ring gear and what that causes, like how it would cause torque twist or not, is whether the offset, like it will, the axle of course will be affected, but whether or not it would help or hurt. What 2S battery should I get to fit on a Sherpa? Ooh, 2S? I would highly suggest a higher voltage or more voltage than 2S. 3S, 4S, depending on your electronics. But, because otherwise you're going to be looking at, like this is a 3S 850 75C, and that's kind of a bare minimum as far as amperage. So it'd be 0.85 times 75. So what is that? 0.85 times 75 equals, this will do 64 amps based on the rated value. But 2S, yeah, go 3S or more, 3S or 4S would be my recommendation. I have Fusion 360 on my computer, but I've been too intimidated to try it. It's worth getting in. The thing to do is find a tutorial and just follow it. Don't try and design your own thing at first. Just go find some tutorials and try them. Just draw whatever they're drawing, and then do that again and do that again until you feel like you know where the buttons are. Hi, Chief. What's up, Bubba? What you doing? Josh, how often do you use those stress models in SolidWorks? Do you use any other features besides the design function? It depends, like in, it really depends because like for RC, there's a lot of things where you can be real, I know for a fact that this will be fine. You know, we're usually not cutting it super close in RC. I can't figure out offset planes in Fusion 360. Planes can be a bit of a thing to get around and learn, but yeah, I wish that there was an easier way to. I need to have it. Don't you have a truck to build? The truck is built. It's right there, and it's 100% done and running. It's made. Comp prep for me is just getting in the right mindset, Matt. Like, how much yelling am I going to have to do? How much? Yeah. The kicker on the torque twist is that the fact that we can't decide if the fulcrum on the test is the stationary terrain or the chassis weight. One will give, the other will not. Ben, actually, it doesn't matter. We've in statics or dynamics, whatever class you want to take it. You're basically you can choose. You choose the point. You choose your base. Your 0 point doesn't matter. It just depends on, you're either going to get negative numbers or you're going to get positive numbers. Or you're going to put it in the middle, you're going to get some of both. A fulcrum doesn't matter. You choose it wherever you want. It doesn't actually change the results. My 10 p.m. phone alarm is going off in the other room. It's a life changer. Everybody, put a reoccurring alarm on your phone for 10 p.m. It's the best thing you can do. It just lets you know, it's a perfect barometer for your evening. You can either be like, it's time to start winding down, or I need to hurry up and get some stuff done. It's the perfect time, 10 p.m. How high of overdrive was in your class 2? Roughly 40%. Roughly. It's the wheel contacting the ground 9 tenths out of 10 unless both wheels are off the ground. The rest of the direction is force. It still shouldn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like you're just going to get a different, because it's all theoretical at some point. So it's all. You need to build a scale body, paint it so Josh will, then make Josh build it comp. We need to send each. Ooh, that could be our 24. A 24. It'd be a 48 though. We both spend 24 hours doing something we can't show, and then we send it to each other, and we have to do the other 20. I just got to figure out how to. It's the 24-hour things. There's so much fun. It is 8 o'clock. We've done 2 hours tonight. We'll see how much more. We still got a good crowd in here. We'll still keep going for a little bit. What do I think of the Spawn? I think it's outdated. It was great. I loved the Wraith platform for a long time. The Spawn was the best of the Wraith platform releases because it had the updated transmission setup with the dual slipper and 32 pitch gears. All the ones before it had 48 pitch. So there was that. The body was a huge pain in the ass to be able to get to other things because they just like screwed it on, which was whack. But yeah. What overdrive percentage would you recommend for our local terrain? Robbie, it's a good question, but our local terrain's all over the place. Tomorrow, the comp is at the Confluence, which is like absolutely polished rock, which is something that I haven't comped on out here. So I've got like over 50% overdrive set up in that truck right now. Have you checked out the TGH Titan chassis for the Element platform? I have it right here. So I haven't installed it yet. I need to. I need to go buy an Element Ecto and swap that into it. I just haven't done it. Maybe I'll see if the local hobby shop has one in stock tomorrow, and I'll go pick it up. Josh, what do you think of Fabrats? I subscribed to their YouTube channel, and it still hasn't popped up on my feed, so I keep forgetting to watch it. I need to do that. Um, what media blasting media would you recommend for finish on an aluminum similar to the Vanquish axles? Oh God, I can't remember. So I have two media blasters set up at the shop, and one I've got with a more general purpose aggregate that's a little bit more abrasive or aggressive, and then I have a fine one, and the fine one is the one that I would suggest most often if you've got a fairly good quality part that you're just trying to even out. But I don't remember the size. We use a local company here called the Grit Guy, and they just swing by the shop and refill stuff, so I don't have to remember what size it is to order. Yeah. Let's see. Need help on Holmes Armored Revolver KV size for 3-to-1 ratio deluxe portal fab tranny and Capra axles. KV size for that? I don't know what it's 3-to-1 ratio total. Can't be just 3-to-1 total, can it? I guess you could get almost 10-to-1 out of those axles, but what? Axial portals are like 1.9-to-1 times a 3.75 ring and pinion is 7.125-to-1. Yeah, it can't be just a 3-to-1. That would only give you 21-to-1 total ratio, which is way too low or hot, way too fast. You need to be quite a bit deeper than that. Unless I'm missing something. There's got to be more to that 3-to-1 than just that. Let's see. What's your best opinion on OD for the VRD on it? VFD probably? Okay, VFD on an 8-pound VS410 with AR45 straight axles. It depends what you're using it for. The 21% is a pretty good, just like it gives you overdrive. It's fine in a trail rig. It's good for performance. It's not too much, depending on either side. So 3-to-1 is all it is. That sounds, well, it's got to, you can't choose, you don't have any choice of pinion sizes to change the gear ratio. 11 to 18 tooth pinion size. So it's not just 3-to-1. Because then if you have choices of pinion sizes, then that's going to affect the gear ratio further. So it's not just 3-to-1. Yeah. 11 to 18. Yeah. It's 11 to 18, but it still depends on what gear it's contacting with, so you can figure that gear ratio. I can't figure your gear ratio without all the info. Stupid question. Does the ring gear direction of the bevel matter? Technically, yes. In RC, we usually don't pay as much attention to it because we usually have one gear set and we use it for whatever. Like in AR44 or whatever one uses it, 48 pitch, thank you. 48 pitch is not the gear that it's contacting. So that's still not you need the tooth count of the gear, the spur gear basically, that the pinion would contact with. So like with AR44 gears or any of that style, you're technically running one gear on the drive side, as it's called, and you're running the other on the coast side because it's the same gear, but it's being turned the opposite way. So technically it does matter, but in RC it doesn't. It's just not something that is so detrimental. You're not putting 100,000 miles on these gear sets, so they don't wear out the same way. So it's not a big deal. Let's reason I asked is my AR60's twisted 2 drive shafts since changing from stock to stock ratio with the bevel. Nope, that would have nothing to do with the bevel at all. That would be a different issue. Either gear sets being too tight or something else changing. Definitely would have no change there. Did you say 21 or 26 tooth for the OD? 21% overdrive kit. I think that's the 26 tooth gear set. Do you know what name for gears to search for that are similar style, like inside of transmissions, looking for gears for custom projects? Oh, you're just trying to buy blank gears? I mean, those are just a straight cut gear. So there's nothing fancy about that at all. I don't know. I mean, you can go on like McMaster and buy gear stock. Gear stock might be what you're looking for. If you're planning to drill it and slot it and pin it, for pins and things like that. Josh, 90mm shocks on the Phoenix, yay or nay? I mean, I say nay just to try and keep it more low. 36 tooth spur, 48 pitch on that. See, okay, 36 tooth is the important part. So if it's 3, I don't know if you're giving me the right info or not, but say you have a 36 tooth spur, divide that by the 11 tooth pinion, that's 3.27 to 1. If then beyond that you also have a 3-to-1 reduction, so that times 3 is 9.81 times 7.125. Then you're at 69 to 1. What was the other one? An 18 tooth? So if you're at 36 divided by 18, it should be 2 times 3 times 7.125. It's 42. So yeah, I would probably run somewhere between, I'd probably run like a 17 tooth pinion in that, and then shoot for like a 14 or 1800 kV outrunner. Give yourself enough wheel speed. If you're giving me the rest, if that info's correct. It's hard to say. Perry G, thank you, sir. Why do you think four-wheel drive buggies have more travel than IFS for crawlers? It really bugs me. That is a good question. I think it's a good question. I don't know four-wheel drive buggies that well. Aren't they using, or are they not using ring and pinions? If they are, from there you of course have the issue of clearance, like flat straight across clearance on an IFS in a trail rig, not great. I feel like their width is more, but I don't know. See, I don't know enough about four-wheel drive buggies to say what the difference is. I don't know. I will agree that IFS in crawlers, in most of them, is trash. As far as like 1.9. The 2.2s, there's been some... The Yeti had decent travel. The Baja Ray has decent travel, or the Rock Ray had decent travel. But still. Have you ever seen a 25 tooth or 23 tooth broach for making custom servo horns? Can't find anything. Yeah, you have to have them made is the thing. As far as finding that off the shelf, that is not an off the shelf broach. Those are custom made. Trust me, I know. I think those tool tips, those broach tool tips, I think they're like, God, I can't remember, $700 or $1,000 a piece for the tool. So, yeah, somewhere in there. Dual Sport or Bobber Triumph? Ooh, Phoenix, that's an interesting question. I like some dual sports, but not many. So I would have to say Bobber. Yeah, bobber. A tapered one for a press. Oh, not a rotary broach. I don't know. How are you going to do a tapered broach for a servo horn? Because most servo horns are not through. Tapered ones are usually when you're doing a through, right? Unless you're doing a different type of, like a non-standard servo horn. Because, you know, servo horns usually we're bolting on, so that's why I say, not RC, but do you know why the IFS arms on some 1-to-1 desert trucks front arms cross L mount on the right, left sides, and vice versa? Do you know what some cross? Do you mean like? Do you mean twin, like TTB traction beam, or maybe that's what you mean? I wonder. Dual sport versatility is cool. That I totally agree. They are cool. I just don't think that they always look that good. That's the problem. What dual sports do you like? I always like the KTM's. I know it's probably the cop out answer. Dang, I disagree with you. Dual sport all day long. I just am such a style. Like, I just feel like some of them are just look so dirt bike ish. I don't know. Motorcycles are all style for like. I love supermotos. Yeah, like, but 890R. Which one is that, Ben? Let's see. We're gonna have to cut this short here in a few minutes because I have to pee. I broke the show. Yeah, exactly. Cafe racer or sport bike? Oh, that's the real question, because I do love the way cafe racers look. But if I was gonna buy, I mean, I would have another Hayabusa again. That's the thing. Hayabusa is my answer for everything because I miss my Hayabusa every day. Does your carbon fiber body maker use any other materials like Kevlar or aramid? I don't know that either. I don't know him well. I just deal with him through Facebook messages, so, and only on RC stuff. So I don't know. Nicole joins. Nope. I'm not buying none of the. I'm not buying a motorcycle. Obviously, it's Phoenix's fault. He brought up motorcycles. Maybe no, somebody. I don't remember how that happened. Always no Boosa Boy stuff for Josh. I know it. I miss the Hayabusa so much. Every day. It's 1-to-1 dancing rider, of course. Nicole's gonna love the new mini trike. It's gonna be it. She's gonna love it. We are all caught. Exactly. Scroll back through the chat. You can see who the fault it is. Kawasaki H2. I do love that H2. I hear that it's a little overhyped, but it still sounds and looks pretty awesome. So, as long as no one can see you on it, just dual sporty it. Yes, Nicole says hello from Kansas City to all. She will be back next week, I think. Next week, yes. But hopefully, I hope dinner was nice, Nicole. You can text me here shortly. Maybe. Oh man, you look at home on a black road. I know. Yeah, that's. I heard VP is bringing back the XR10. Oh, I do miss comp crawling. I feel like it'd just be a restart though. We just have to. Might as well just restart from scratch. She's just making sure you weren't abusing the cats. Yeah, I haven't thrown anything at any of the cats during this stream. Hello from Olathe. Old, the old lady cat has been hanging out for a while. Safi she was ready for pets tonight. She was purring for the camera. She did good, of course. So with that though, I'm calling it because I have to pee. That's gonna do it for tonight. That way I can finish. I'm gonna finish gathering the things that were on my comp list. All of the things that I put here: charger, battery, tools, sunscreen, water, Milwaukee vacuum. Boom. All right, that's it. Done. We'll see you guys probably not Sunday, but maybe. We'll see. Later, everybody.